Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
For centuries, we were far more. I was the god of the arts, and the muses were my constant companions. We went everywhere together. They had many names, but the three most common were Clio, Talia, and Calliope. The Sisters of Beauty, I called them, though they weren't always women.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Most of us seek out inheritors who are like us, I suppose, but not all. Calliope, in fact, was a man in her previous incarnation. Christoph, I think his name was. A poet Calliope adored. I was surprised when she made him a muse.
Who did Calliope become after that poet, Christoph?
You have to realize we're already into the period where Calliope and I weren't really speaking. She showed up one day in her new form, the one you met. An opera singer whose name she never revealed. We fought, as I recall. I told her she couldn't pass on every time she met an artist she fell in love with. Eventually she'd forget everything about who we were and where we came from. She said she'd rather forget than wallow in old memories like I or the other idols were doing. It was time to wake up and make the best of our situation. Calliope was an idealist without compromise. Always. She hated what we'd become. What I'd become. She wasn't wrong.
From how you describe it, you and Calliope fought a lot.
As often as we saw each other, which became less and less as time wore on. However, she fought with everyone. Calliope hated the idols being kept secret. She and Athena would get into screaming matches over the rules, and it got so I could no longer protect her. She moved out of Olympus years ago and kept to herself. I just assumed she was wrapped up with some new artist when I got the news.
Do you regret not making up with her?
Every day I think about our last conversation and what I should have said or done differently. The problem with immortality is that you think you have all the time in the world.
It wasn't only fighting with Calliope, right? Surely there were good things, too.
Is that how it sounds? No. She was marvelous. A force to be reckoned with if there ever was one. In the darkest days during the war, it was her songs that gave us hope. She kept Aphrodite alive through sheer determination, I think. Calliope cared. About us, about art, about people she'd only just met. It was her greatest strength as well as her greatest weakness.
I wonder why she picked me. I don't feel like I'm any of those things.
You underestimate yourself, Grace. I see a lot of her in you. She chose well.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
You are. What would you like to know?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
The short answer is, we don't know. If I think far enough back, I can remember bits and pieces. I remember my first Pythian games, the day the idols split in two over Troy, the day my first son died. But before that, nothing. None of us do. I vaguely recall the very first Apollo many thousands of years ago, but was he the original? Did he appear out of the ether? I couldn't tell you.
Psst. Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Interesting. The notion that there might be some other place far away where we're the norm is comforting. Sadly, our memories are filled with blanks. There was a war with beings we called the Titans. A terrible conflict where half our number died, yet do I remember a single battle. The last was after Rome fell. Zeus called us together to relay the news, told us to prepare for battle. And then, in the blink of an eye, I was in the 16th century. What made us forget 1,000 years? What happened during that time? We don't know. Athena calls that period the gap.
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...
I know I was alive. I passed on my eidolon who knows how many times, yet the moment I woke up, as you call it, all memory of that period was gone. It was Athena who found us. I was in France, I think. She came to my farm, and the moment I laid eyes on her, I just knew. It all came back. Did someone do that to us? Did we scatter to the winds for 1,000 years on purpose? It's a mystery.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena claims she awoke on her own and spent the next century locating the other idols. We've pieced together very little of the gap or of our origins. We simply live with it. Gods we may be, but I'm afraid we don't have all the answers.
Earlier you mentioned your son dying. Did I hear that right? Can idols have children?
It was rare, but yes. Back in ancient times, some of them even became idols themselves.
Some of the idols are actually family, then.
Not anymore. Most of our children met terrible ends. A gift of the fates, perhaps. I don't know. The ones who weren't idols. It's hard, watching your children grow old and die. Never understanding why they can't have the same immortality you do, why you can't grant it to them. My first son is why I'm not permitted in Hades any longer. Let's simply say that most idols have stopped having children, and maybe leave it at that.
You must have been very different back when you were a proper god.
I think most of us were. We saw ourselves as, teachers. Mortals were our students, and we guided them to enlightenment. We thought we were special, infallible. I was as magnificent as the sun, and I surrounded myself with those who basked in my radiance.
That doesn't sound like you.
Yeah. I was arrogant. If there was a man or woman I desired, then I had to have them, or there would be consequences. You wouldn't have liked me. I wouldn't have liked me.
So what is Persephone's beef with you exactly? Is it just about what Hades did to her?
That's no small thing.
It seems more personal than that.
I mentioned how Persephone's kidnapping almost meant war between Olympus and Hades, yes? Well, while this was all going on, Persephone managed to escape the underworld, and I'm the one she encountered first.
Uh-oh.
Hades was hot on her heels, and I had a choice. Either do battle with Hades and start the war right then and there, or let him take her back. Zeus would have had my head if I had sparked a war. Yet all I still think of are Persephone's eyes as Hades smugly took back his prisoner. It's not my finest moment.
Apollo, have you ever tried, I don't know, talking to someone about how you feel?
I will never understand this modern fascination with therapy and focusing on one's feelings.
It might help. You never know.
Yes, I've tried it. There was one I used to speak to. Hecate enchanted him never to reveal what I told him. I don't know that unburdening myself to the man helped. He wasn't exactly trained for this sort of problem.
It is kind of hard to relate to a god, sure.
I do appreciate the thought. But I'm afraid muddling through is as good as it gets for us.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Of course. I look forward to it. Welcome back, Grace. Is there something you came to discuss?
No, that's okay. I'll see you later, Apollo. When I opened that shipping container, I was expecting, I don't know, rats.
Yeah.
Instead we have... Where the hell are we?
It's hard to say. Weren't we going to some kind of library?
That's how Pan described it. He said it was a, what's the word? A reliquary?
That is where relics are kept, like magic items, like when we played D&D.
This is nothing like D&D.
Well, I don't know about you, Grace, but if a dragon came flying out of that mist, I would not be the least bit surprised.
You are such a nerd.
Speaking of, how much do you actually know about Hecate and this idol you're supposed to help?
Do you know anything about this Hecate? It's not a name that rings bells.
Let's see. Well, she was the goddess of witchcraft, the really dark kind.
Oh.
But she's never really portrayed as evil. She was more of an outsider, lived alone, off in our little corner of the underworld. Do you think that's where we could be? Oh, that is so cool. Oh, I bet knowledge is important to her. It could be an angle if you talk to her.
That sounds good, yeah. Hey, Hecate! I love your library. So much knowledge! Wow.
I bet you'll really appreciate a quality smartass.
I brought you for a reason, right?
We make a fine team, you and I.
The idol we're here to help is named Asterion.
And you know who that is, right?
No. Should I?
That's the Minotaur's real name. You know, big bullhead, horns, lives in a giant labyrinth.
Pan did not mention that.
Why am I not surprised?
This Minotaur. You don't think he might be dangerous, do you?
Well, traditionally he eats people, but he was also supposed to have been slain by the hero Theseus.
Well, not so slain after all. Pan says he has a problem with his love life.
Maybe he needs to stop eating all his girlfriends? Okay, I knew that sounded wrong the moment I said it.
We should go inside instead of standing out here in the fog.
It's more of a mist, really.
A mist potentially full of monsters.
In we go, then. Are you really planning on doing that favor for Pan?
Meddle in love lives? Sweet Talk, the goddess of witchcraft? Freddy, who are you dealing with?
The master meddler and sweet talker.
Damn straight.
I look forward to seeing you in operation. There's no way at all this could go poorly. I guess the Titan thing is literal, huh?
Mortals within the reliquary. Who permits this intrusion, this sacrilege? This knowledge is not meant for the likes of you. I shall grind you into the dust from whence you came!
I am really sorry if we startled you. My name is Grace. We've never met before, but, I'm the new muse.
And I'm Freddie. Big fan.
If I broke a rule, I apologize. Pan didn't mention anything about that, I'm afraid.
You are Grace?
Then Calliope is dead. Is that now? I thought that was not for another 11 months yet.
Nobody told you the news? That's rude.
I do not need to be told. It has been written, and thus I know.
Has it also been written who murdered Calliope?
Murder? No, Calliope dies in a vehicle crash in your arms. It is written. Yes, it's right here. Calliope joins Grace's band. They become friends. Months later, there is an automobile accident and...
An accident? No, that's not what happened.
Are you saying the books are wrong?
They're wrong about this. Calliope was murdered just a few days ago.
That is impossible.
I don't know what to tell you.
You will explain. We will both sit, and you will explain. There will be tea. Curious. It is clear something unanticipated has occurred, something outside the realm of fate.
Is that even possible?
It is, but I must follow the threads back to their source to find the origin of the deviation. It may take years of research.
Years? I don't have years.
That is unfortunate. If there is nothing else, I must ask you both to leave so I may begin at once.
Is there no way to speed that up? Whoever's behind it might be the murderer.
Such threads are not so easily untangled. I must consult the Moirai, if indeed they are not the ones responsible.
The Moi what?
You might know them as the Fates. They, or any beings of a sufficiently cosmic nature, have the power to undo the order of things.
That does not sound good.
Certainly not. They are also not beings I can summon at a whim to solve your mystery. I am sorry.
Actually, I came here to speak to Asterion. If, he is here.
A visitor for Asterion? How strange.
Oh! Are we doing guests? Is that a thing? I didn't know.
Wow, okay. Freddie was right.
As if there was any doubt.
My old friend, this is Grace. She is our muse from the line of Calliope, and it is she who asked for you.
I'm here on behalf of Pan. He owes you a favor? Something to do with...
No! Pan! Nah, never heard of him.
Asterion, of course you know Pan.
No idea what he'd want. No, sir, no favours. Nah, not this Minotaur.
There you have it, Grace. I believe now is the time when you leave.
But there must be some mistake.
There is no mistake. Not this time.
Are you sure about that? Because I'm not going.
It is written.
Did you hear that? Pan sends me all this way and Asterion won't even talk to us?
Maybe there's another Asterion?
Yeah, more likely Pan's got me chasing my tail. This was pointless.
Well, I don't think we're getting back inside. Do you have another plan?
I don't don't know if my powers will even work on Hecate, but it's worth a shot.
Ooh, a musical number. Do you think this one could be... do you hear what I'm hearing?
Oh, you're still here? I had to run the entire... Oh, that's a long way, innit? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to send you away, alright? I just couldn't tell you, not in front of Kate.
Kate? You don't mean...
Oh, that is so cute.
I heard what you said about Calliope. I can help you. I really, really can. It has to be you. I am so in love with my dear sweet Kate. I just don't know how to tell her. Please, help me tell her.
Do you really call Hecate Kate? Off topic, I know, but I have to ask.
Sometimes she has to go into the mortal world for a short time and do things for Athena.
Uh-huh. And...
Well, she had to make up a magic disguise, a new identity. And I thought she should give it a proper name.
And you suggested Kate?
Yeah, she really liked it. She said, "Thank you, Asterion."
Are you really the Minotaur? Like, the monster who roamed a maze and ate people?
And is supposed to be dead?
Well, my father locked me up in a labyrinth, but I never ate anyone.
Oh, well, that's good.
Except Theseus. But he was a bell end.
Let me get this straight. You're in love with Hecate. That Hecate.
Oh, mate, Kate is... She's just the best. Like, she knows everything, and she always smells so good. Like, she's so nice to me, and she doesn't even have to be. Oh, we got stuck in the tower together because we can't live in the mortal world. I know I could make her happy. I want to try. Won't you help me?
Have you tried, I don't know, talking to her about how you feel? I take that as a no.
I don't have the words. I've tried. Every time I end up knocking over a table or killing a cat or talking about how sometimes meat has that grisly texture I don't like.
Killed her cat? Oh, no.
It was a small cat. I panicked. I'm just not good at words, right? Really not good.
Okay, so you're in love with Hecate. What is it you think I can do?
The muse knows about poetry and the heart and how to make words beautiful. All I want is to ask her, but I need good words. Please say you'll help me.
Hecate might say no. You know that, right?
She probably will. I mean, she's Kate. And I'm me. But just once, I'd like to be able to ask her, to say it out loud instead of thinking it. I'll still help you. No matter what she says. I promise.
I do this and you'll help me in return, right?
Athena made Kate swear. She's not allowed to say anything about what happens at the tower. But she never made me swear. Maybe she never thought anyone would ask. But I'll tell you. Even if Kate doesn't like it, I'll tell you.
If I do this first.
If you help me, any trouble will be worth it.
I don't know. Doesn't this feel a little weird?
Which part?
Helping him woo her with my powers.
You heard what Pan said. You can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. You can only make them say what's in their heart.
Yeah, that's the part I can't do.
Okay. I have an idea.
You do? Well, you do?
You, my bullish friend, are gonna sing your little heart out.
Grace always has the best ideas.
I'll set up a vibe and you go for it.
I'm not great at words. I'm more of a dancer.
Just speak from the heart. Be honest. You can do it.
You cast a spell on me. Not literally, obviously. But I feel in summary, you and me are meant to be. 'Cause you put a hex on me. You didn't do it to me directly. I'm not blaming you specifically, just that metaphorically. Shit, can someone help me?
It's okay. Okay, what are some of the things you love about her?
Hecate, with you there's so much to love. Oh, I'm not saying you're fat.
Did not just say that.
Okay, hold on.
Tell her something she doesn't know about herself.
Oh, Katie, to me, you know you in rapture?
Ooh, good word.
Is your pallid skin, your lips are so thin, your love of books.
Asterian, I have but one thought. Why is it that you seem so distraught? Are you saying you're in love with me? You couldn't possibly. Really?
Oh, you're doing great. Give it another go.
You've cast a spell on me. It's a feeling that's killing me. But let's say categorically, oh Katie, it's just you and me. Katie, yeah, that's what I've always called you. It sounds juvenile, but that name makes me smile. I've always wanted to tell you. Anyways, as friends, I'm only a fraction of what I can be. I mean, I'll still make you tea, but don't you want more than tea?
Is this what you truly wish to do? This love could easily fall through. Imagine if we ceased to be. It's a possibility, don't you see?
Oh, God, he's looking pretty bad.
Hecate, it could be this spell on me has blinded my eyes from what you can see. If there's even the smallest possibility of losing you somehow, I'll take it back now. I'm finished, could someone please rescue me?
Freddy, you gotta step in.
Me?
Yeah, you're just as qualified as I am.
Hecate, I'd say he's really put himself out there. Now he cannot undo. It's a brave thing to do. Wish I had his daring. I'm saying that I've missed out before. Last chances rushed out that exit door. I could never let my heart be heard, and it's withering. Now I'm reconsidering.
I have always counted on you to speak to me honestly. You're at my beck and call. I've never thanked you at all, and yet you still love me. I let travelers know which way to go, but it bothers me. My own path I forego always seemed apropos.